welcome back to my channel. I'm Alyssa and today we have Dexter with me. Hi, baby. Introduce you to Dexter because he's probably going to make a feature in almost every video you watch. So I figured why not get to know him a little bit. So I guess you can officially call this the Meet My Baby tag. Question 1. What is baby's full name? His full name, I'm going to leave out his last name for security reasons, but his full name is Dexter Forrest. What is baby's date of birth? He was born July 31st, 2017 at 11:12 a.m. Does his name mean anything? His first name, Dexter, is from a TV show, not the serial killer one. It's actually from Dexter's Laboratory because that was his dad's favorite show growing up. His middle name, Forrest, is actually his dad's middle name. I share a middle name with my grandma, so he shares a middle name with his dad. Does baby have any nicknames? Dexter has a few. When Blake first told me that he wanted to name his first son Dexter, I was very put off by it, and then after, honestly not long, probably a couple of days, I was like, you know, Dex is a cute name, like a nickname, so I guess Dexter would be okay, and we'll just call him Dex. Which we do, and he does respond sometimes. He responds to Dexter more. Some other nicknames he has is Moo Moo. I've called him Moo Moo because he's chunky like a cow. So he's my Moo Moo. And sometimes he answers to that. And then ever since I was pregnant with him, I called him Bug. Just for some reason, it just like started coming out of my mouth. I started calling him Bug, and people were like, why are you doing that? But then when he was born, he liked to snuggle. So I'd call him my Snuggle Bug, and it just kind of worked out, and it was really weird. So now I just call him Bug. How did Dexter's birth go? He was born vaginally. I did end up having an epidural, and I did have to be induced. I was due July 27th, and he was not coming out. He did not want to come out whatsoever. Once things started kicking off, I did end up getting an epidural, which really helped. I definitely was one of the people that, like, I needed it. It was something I needed. And then about 5 or 6 hours after that, he was born, and he had to be taken to NICU because he had a hard time regulating his oxygen levels. But within, honestly, a couple of hours, he was fine. But in the hospital that we were in, once you're admitted to NICU, you do not get to come back until you leave the hospital. So once you're in NICU, you're there until you're going home. So 3 days later, a very hard 3 days, he was back home, or back with us, and we were headed home. What are baby's measurements? At birth, Dexter weighed 7 pounds, 8 ounces, and was 21 inches long. Well, you were. Now Dexter weighs 18 pounds, 5 ounces, and is 24 inches long. Does baby have any birthmarks? Dexter has the stork bites right at the base of his head, down by his neck. It's right in his hairline. I think I might have a picture. I can show you it right now. Other than that, he doesn't really have any birthmarks. We thought that at first he was going to have a little freckle right in like his Monroe area, but that ended up going away after like a week of being born. Is baby formula fed or breastfed? Dexter is currently exclusively breastfed. We do not count the water he gets in a bottle with his lunch because he's not getting, that's not his main source of food. He was formula fed for a couple of weeks when he was first born because he was dropping a lot of weight, but he kept throwing it all up, and one day I was like, you know what, I'm over it. You're done with formula. And since then he has been exclusively breastfed, and he packs on the pounds like crazy. In his first month, he only put on about 1 pound, and that was when he was both breastfed and formula fed. That next month, he put on 3 pounds after that, after taking him off formula. I am in no way saying formula is wrong, or you could only breastfeed or only formula feed. I'm not saying that at all. I am saying know what's best for your baby. That being said, what are Dexter's favorite foods? He 100% prefers the boob over everything. And yeah. He 100% prefers the boob over everything. However, he's just started eating pureed foods. And he disliked peas, but he is really actually enjoying apples as long as they're warmed up. We found he does not like cold applesauce. He likes it a little bit warm. Where does baby sleep? Dexter has bed shared since probably a week and a half to 2 weeks old. He would not sleep in his bassinet, and we kind of contributed that to being in the NICU. He was away from us for 3 days, and then once he got us, he didn't really want to let go, which is completely understandable. However, looking back on it, I should have just stuck it out and never really brought him into my bed, because now that we're transitioning him out of our bed, it is proving to be really difficult. So he does bed share, but he starts out his night in his own little bassinet. Sometimes he sleeps in his playpen, but because he's transitioning out of our bed and constantly being cuddled at night, he does like the smaller space to make it not feel so lonely. So he is starting out in a bassinet, and then we would transition him from that into the playpen next to our bed, and then from that into his own room, into his crib. Does baby prefer mommy or daddy? Dexter is a daddy's boy. Of course he loves me and he loves being with me, but I am home with him all day, every day, which is a perk. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love being home with him. But when daddy comes home, it is all about dad. When he's upset in the middle of the night, he usually wants Blake, which is hard because Blake's gonna get up early for work. If Dexter gets hurt or anything like that, he kind of wants us both, but he will go to Blake first. He actually even does more things for him. Blake was the first one to help Dexter learn how to roll over completely both ways. He will crawl more for Blake than he will for me. Even when we put him in his walker, although I was the first person he started to push off to, he's not really walking, he's kind of like pushing his feet off the floor. Although I was the first one he did it with, he does it more for Blake now. Yeah, he's all about dad. Do we cry it out? Simple answer, no. Longer answer is sometimes. He does not cry himself to sleep, which is what a lot of people associate crying it out with. I associated crying out with plopping your baby in bed and letting them cry until they fall asleep. And that is it, honestly, but that's not 100%. We do not do that. Dexter is soothed to sleep because I do not like it when I cry myself to sleep. Why would I let my 6-month-old cry himself to sleep? That's just not right. If he's crying, it's for a reason. He's either scared or he's cold or anything like that. And when I'm scared, I like to be comforted. Or if I'm sad, I like to be comforted. So we do not let him cry himself to sleep. That being said, if I know he is warm and fed and has a clean diaper on and I can see him, like when he's playing on the floor of the living room and I'm in the dining room, which we have an open floor plan house, so I can see exactly where he's at, and he knows exactly where I'm at. And if he's crying then, I will let him cry for a while, because he needs to figure it out. If he gets mad at a toy he's playing with, we just tell him to find a new toy to play with. And he'll usually look around for a few minutes, roll over, and grab a new toy and start playing with it. But other than that, we do not let him sit there and scream and cry until he's red in the face and can't breathe and coughing up a lung, because I just don't see that as helpful for anyone. Does baby have any teeth? Dexter is 6.5, almost 7 months old. He's closer to 7 months than he is to 6 months. And he currently has 1.5 teeth. He has one that popped through about a week ago. He will not let anyone take a picture of it, so unfortunately I cannot show you, but it's right down in front. And then the one literally right next to it is starting to peek through, and I noticed it the other day. Breastfeeding for that has not changed whatsoever. He bit me one time before he even had teeth. We told him, knock it off, you do not bite. If you bite again, you're not getting boob anymore. And he has not done it since. He does pinch a lot, but we're working on that. What are baby's favorite TV shows, if any? A lot of people do not like their 6-month-old watching TV. However, if I'm watching TV, I'm not going to put blinders on him and make him not watch either. So if he's gonna be watching TV anyway, why not at least be watching cartoons or anything like that? With that being said, his favorite cartoon is the PJ Masks. There's only one season of it on Netflix, and we have probably watched it about 10 times. I know almost all the words, we know all the songs, and he loves it. That is the only cartoon he 100% loves. He will watch others. He's watched Octonauts, Sesame Street, Clifford. He's watched all of those and he loves them, but nowhere near as much as PJ Masks. If he had to choose between PJ Masks and YouTube though, honestly he would probably watch YouTube more. His favorite 2 channels are the Saucony Jolies because of the kids that are on it. Once Eduardo and even their new baby Alessia is on that screen, he is 100% paying attention. Other one is Elfie Days or Pointless Blog. He watches him all the time, but he 100% loves Elfie's voice and Zoe. What are baby's favorite toys? Dexter has a few actually. Currently he is loving these little rubber ducks. He's loving these little rubber ducks. He has this one and he has this one. He has this bee teether that he absolutely loves. We got this in a Bloom box that we were subscribed to, and it's very solid. It's silicone, but it bends and twists, and it's about the thickness of basically a finger. Another of his favorites are these little bunnies, and this string is actually because it attaches to his bassinet's mobile, but he hated it up there because he couldn't grab them, and they have these giant tags on them, which he absolutely loves. And if I cut them off, he will scream and cry and no longer like the animal. Another very unconventional thing that he loves to play with is the Player 2 remote that we have. We don't actually use it because we're hardly ever playing video games together, or if at all anymore on the PlayStation. We use it mostly for Netflix and TV and stuff. So we just had this laying around and we were tired of him grabbing the one that we actually use. So he just this is his now, and he just plays with this, and it's nice because it's blue and it's one of the colors he's really drawn to right now. Finally, his favorite toy of all is this little elephant blanket. It's 100% silk on the inside and got a little rattle in it. But this is Alfonso. But this is his elephant blanket and he loves it. Does Baby have any favorite songs? Dexter actually has an array of songs that we like to sing to him whenever he's cranky or even when he's going to sleep. The first song we sing is the Itsy Bitsy Spider. Then that leads us into You Are My Sunshine, followed by Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Then we sing the I Love You song twice. And then after that, we sing the first verse of Amazing Grace. And then we sing all of Silent Night. And usually he's asleep by then or he's no longer cranky. But if he is just having a small little like temper tantrum or mini freak out or anything, we have a couple. So sometimes we sing, there once was a boy named Dexter, he was a handsome mister, his mommy loved him so much she wanted to give him a sister. And that usually calms him down. And then another one that we found out that he really likes is another one that we made up, and it's not even really a song, it's more of a chant, and it goes, Dexter, Dexter, read all about it, he's our favorite, no doubt about it. And you can see that puts him in a great mood and he absolutely loves it. So that's my kiddo. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Comment below if you have any questions or comments that you'd like to share with us. If you have a question that you want it to be answered privately, there's an email address in the top line of the description down below, and I will get back to those comments or questions as soon as I possibly can. Other than that, we will see you next week with another video. Bye!